Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Labyrinth, a podcast produced by Virtual Executive Director. My name is Becky Brett, and I'm your host. I'm an intuitive executive coach for artists, content creators, and entrepreneurs. And this week on the podcast, I am going to walk through the labyrinth with you and talk about an alternative to New Year's resolutions. So, for 2021, I have chosen a word for the year, which I've done for the past several years, and I'll talk about that. And then I decided to take a little bit of a new direction in terms of setting intentions for the coming year. Because, it's really just a man-made construct, right? The new year. And to be honest, I set intentions throughout the year, all the time. I am always manifesting and releasing and calling things in and taking part in that process. I don't just wait until January 1st, right? So let's just dive in. My word for 2021, and if you practice this, I would love to know what your word for the year is too. My word for 2021 is receive. Receive. I don't know about you, but in 2020, I did a lot of releasing. Like a lot of releasing. And so with the mantra of the labyrinth, which is release, receive, return, I figured this would be my year to receive. I have opened up so many blocks, and I've released so many things like habits, thought patterns, beliefs, relationships that no longer serve my greatest and highest good or the greatest and highest good of those around me. And so this is the year for me to receive new beliefs, new thought patterns, new habits, new relationships that better serve my greatest and highest good and that of everyone else around me. And so that's how I landed on the word receive. Historically, so last year my word was listen, and that served me very well last year. The prior 2 years I had the same word, which was execute. And yes, in every sense of the word execute, both in doing things and removing things. So I guess there's been a lot of releasing going on over the past few years for me. So with this word receive, I thought, why not also receive a new way of setting New Year's resolutions? And even though this is a practice I engage in throughout the year, there's something really nice about that lull between the Christmas holiday and New Year's Eve, where it's just a really fruitful time, at least for me, to pause and reflect and set larger, sort of longer term intentions. Because usually my intentions are basically like a month at a time, or at the most 90 days. But in the new year, I do like to take a bigger picture, broader look at my life and where it's headed, and set some bigger, broader intentions or goals for the year. Okay, so the new thing that I am working with this year is feeling and being and setting New Year's resolutions. And let's just, because resolutions have sort of there's a little baggage, I think, with that word. So let's call them intentions for the year. And this year I set intentions for how I want to feel and be, rather than the things I want to do and achieve. And stick with me here, because I know it sounds kind of woo-woo, but I think when we focus on how we want to feel, I think that takes some of the pressure off, because there are lots of ways to get to a feeling, and it doesn't restrict us into any one thing. So let me just share with you my thought process on this, and maybe it will help you too at some point. So this year, and oh my gosh, okay, just so you know, I am really opening myself up and getting vulnerable with you right now. So this year, I want to, no, wait. That's one of the things I'm doing. I'm changing my language too. So this year, I get to, using the phrase I get to a lot more this year. This year, I get to feel safe, creative, loved, expansive, generous, valued, appreciated, and supported. Those are the feelings I get to embody this year. And speaking of body, my body gets to feel strong, flexible, calm, well-rested, and resilient. So those are the feelings that I'm setting intentions around this year. There's another phrase that I am using more and more this year in terms of affirmations and intentions, and it is I choose to believe, or I choose to, basically I choose to. So I choose to believe, I choose to do, I choose to receive. I choose to. That's so much more empowering than waiting for something to come to you, right? So I choose to believe that these feelings come to me easily and effortlessly because I am worthy of them and I am divinely supported. Try that one on for yourself too. What do you choose to believe right now? Okay, getting back to my process, once I decided how I wanted to feel in the coming year and what I choose to believe about these feelings, I took a look at what things support those feelings. And so thus comes the doing and the sort of action items, right, for the coming year. So these are the things that support me and support these feelings of safety, creativity, expansiveness, etc. Number 1 on my list is quiet time. So daily quiet time, daily meditation, and as you know, I like to go on personal retreats. So the quiet time during those retreats are very important to me. The other thing that supports me is CrossFit and yoga workouts. Yes, I call myself an accidental CrossFitter. And if you follow my stories on Instagram and Facebook, you'll see me post periodically. Lately, it's been inconsistent because of the holiday season, but pretty consistently moving forward, posting about my workouts as a way of holding myself accountable. So CrossFit and yoga workouts. And also I have an aerial yoga hammock. And so I am starting to practice with that. Other things that support my feelings, increasing the energetic minimum in my bank accounts. Whether you know it or not, you have an energetic minimum. And this is something that someone I follow, Amanda Francis, something that she talks about all the time. And sometimes your energetic minimum might be a negative number, like I will not overdraw by X amount. Well, my friends, if you want something different for your own finances this year, work on increasing your energetic minimums. And that is what I am doing with my bank accounts. Another thing that supports the feelings I want to feel this year is intermittent fasting and decreasing my processed sugar intake. I did so great with that in the summer and fall and early winter. Like probably many of you, I have been more lax about that. Not so much about the intermittent fasting. That is something that is now coming really easily and effortlessly for me. But But the processed sugar has been a bit more of a challenge with the holiday season. But you know what? I'm not beating myself up over it. I just know that when I eat less sugar, I feel better, and it supports my feelings of calm and rest and resilience, and so that's something that supports that I'm choosing to do, that I get to do. Other things that support me are quality and quantity of sleep. And, you know, to that end, I very quickly this year invested in blackout curtains for my bedroom, which I had desperately needed for quite some time, because especially in the summer, that morning sun just comes right in, and I am not ready for it when it is trying to wake me up. So quality and quantity of sleep. Time in nature is something else that supports the feelings I want to feel. And then exploring and doing things I haven't done before is something else that supports my feelings of creativity and expansiveness. So looking at those things that support me, it's not quite a list of goals or resolutions. It's just the things that I know support the feelings I want to feel. And so these are the things that will make their way onto my to-do lists more often than not. I also took a look at the relationships that support me and the work that supports me. And these are things that you can list out for yourself. These are things I'm going to keep to myself for now. But I think that it is a helpful exercise. So to look at, if I'm going to summarize this for everybody, the summary would be, number one, decide how you get to feel this year. Choose to believe that those feelings can come to you easily and effortlessly because you're worthy of them, because you are, just because you are. And then write out the things that support those feelings, the relationships that support those feelings, and the work you do that supports those feelings. And pay attention to these things. Keep that list handy. Take a picture of it. Something that I've been doing for a little while is setting a reminder in my calendar, and so it pops up and I take a look at it. Super easy to do. So in summary of my summary, if we're to put this in the format of the labyrinth, what I did was release the old way that I looked at setting resolutions. I received a new way, a way that feels more intuitive and aligned with who I want to be now. And I have returned by integrating it, by writing it down, by integrating this into my daily practice, to paying attention to it, and sharing it with all of you. So I hope that this supports you this year. I hope that this new way to look at resolutions and intention setting for the year helps you. Thank you so much for listening. If you liked this episode, please be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Look, if you don't already, follow me on Instagram. I am beckybrett.live for daily inspiration, information, and support, and definitely some sass, which makes its way into my stories. And if you're looking for a coach, the link to my application is in the show notes. I cannot wait to hear from you. Enjoy the journey, everyone. And remember, you can lose yourself in a maze, but you can find yourself in a labyrinth.